My name is Pramod Puri. I am from the state of Jammu and Kashmir in India, and my father's parents also from the same state. My father's name was Shri Shanti Swarup Puri. My mother's name was Pushpavati Puri, and I got my education and my childhood in the city of Jammu. My birthplace was actually in the small town called Udhampur, and I did my education, college education and university education in Chandigarh, where I did my graduation, as well as I did graduation from School of Journalism from the Punjab University. I did my most of college education in Chandigarh and DAV College Chandigarh, Government College Chandigarh. Then I joined the Punjab University, did my Bachelor of Journalism from the Punjab University. I chose this career because I love to do writing, and I'm also concerned about the reporting of events happening all around, and that was also in our family. My elder brother was also a writer, a journalist. My other brothers were also in the same, more or less in the same field. So that naturally attracted me, and that has been my career ever since. I came to Canada in 1972. My elder brother was already here in Winnipeg. So in his invitation, I came here, and immediately I started get into my line. I started as a newspaperman, as well as I started have my own TV program. I also worked in the native Indian newspaper called The New Nation. At the same time, in 1972, I started my own newspaper, The Link, which is, I think, the oldest newspaper in Canada. It has been running ever since. It has been running for the last 43 years or so. It is still popular and it's still going on, and I'm proud of that. I'm the founder of that, original person who established the newspaper in those days back in 1972. I came to Canada in 1972, and immediately I started my career in my own field of journalism. I started my own newspaper, The Link, back in 1972 in the city called Winnipeg. Then at the same time I also worked for the native Indian newspaper. That was it was called The New Nation. I used to go to all the native reserves and other areas to cover the native events, and as well as their problems and all the issues concerning them. At the same time I was doing the Indo-Canadian newspaper, The Link. Then in 1972 I moved to Vancouver on the invitation of some of my subscribers of the newspaper Link, as who also became my friends. They asked me that Vancouver has more population, Indian population, than Winnipeg, and that was true, and that I will be doing very well when I move to Vancouver. So it has been, that was in 1972 that I moved to Vancouver and carried on with a Link newspaper, and it has been a very successful career. Has been a very successful as a business enterprise in the media business. I was ever since from childhood I have been very much interested in my religion, that is Hinduism, and over the years it attracted me more because I thought Hinduism is more than religions, and it's more than customs and traditions. It has deep philosophies and deep understanding. So I wanted to explore that. At the same time, the more important reason for that I wanted to make our youngsters, our generation over here, to understand what Hinduism is all about. Because I felt the need when our people, our children, or even our age group people go to the temple, they don't understand what's going on, what is being said over there. So I wanted them to know that all the details, all the insights of the religion. So that was one motivation for me to present Hinduism in a more understandable language, so that people can understand. At the same time, I also felt that when we say we are Hindus and we are religious, and my understanding came to the point that most of the people, when they say we are religious, we are Hindus, their understanding is only up to the point that they feel that they cover the religious, they cover the rituals, and they cover the traditions, and they call themselves as Hindus or whatever the faith they have. But the Hinduism particularly is much deeper, so I thought we have to explore this aspect of the Hinduism. So that's the one reason I started searching and research of this faith, and came up with a book, and the book title is called Hinduism Beyond Rituals, Customs and Traditions. That was published early this year in January, and it has been doing very well. I started exploring Hinduism for the main reason that when I started researching on that, I found very, very different aspects of the religions. So first of all, I thought, before I launch into that, let me explore the history of Hinduism. And when I was exploring that, I found the similarities between all the different religions of the world, that what basically started religion, any religion, whether it's Hinduism or Christianity. My basis of religion, that why religion started, was that it started as a management of the society. When the society started growing up, having more numbers, and to manage the society, that they started making rules and regulations how to conduct yourself in the overall society, so that your freedoms, you have the freedom, at the same time you have some limitation in freedom, so that you don't become out of the society and still remain in the society. So you have some obligations towards the society, and that was the beginning of starting a religion. And Hinduism is not different than any other religions. We cannot say, we should not be claiming that this is the first religion and this is the top religion. So that's not the case. When I was exploring the Hinduism, I found there was quite an interchange of ideas between different thoughts, between of all the different lands. People used to travel, although the communications were not that efficient in those days, but still people were traveling and they were bringing back and forth ideas. There are numerous examples in the history of the world when people from Europe or from the Arab countries, they used to travel to India to seek knowledge from the East, and the Eastern people like Guru Nanak, they used to go to the Arab countries from the Muslim countries, and they used to exchange ideas and enriching themselves with the development of their own religions. And that is the development, the history of Hinduism, that it is always evolving, it's always developing. It's not that something which was spoken 10,000 years or 20,000 years back, and it is always changing, it's evolution. That's one aspect of Hinduism, that it is always in evolutionary state. It accommodates, it is big structure. It accommodates, it accepts all the different thoughts. We do not reject any, whatever suits you, whatever is a very wide religion. So that's the variety, the wideness of the religions, the wideness of its thoughts. That's what attracted me to explore Hinduism. And another aspect, that when we say Hinduism is a way of life, I would say it's beyond way of life. It goes beyond that. It's a philosophy. It's a democracy for different thoughts and different thinking of people, where we accommodate have different school of thoughts, numerous, and then it's a whole package of things which we need in our whole life, or in our day-to-day life, how we conduct ourselves in our day-to-day life. And one aspect of Hinduism is very important, that is karma, the law of karma. It's very simple law. What you sow, so shall you reap. So there is nothing like fate that somebody up there in the sky or somewhere that we think God is conducting ourselves. No, God is not doing it. It's our own karma, what we do. So we reap those. We do good karmas, we get good results. We do bad karmas, we do get bad results. Whether the results can be immediate or it can be further down the road, but sooner or later you will get the results of those karmas. So that's very important aspect of Hinduism, which we can relate to in our day-to-day life, in our moment life. That in one moment what we do, that is going to reflect in our next moment. I have been in this country for the last over 43 years. What I have learned that no doubt this is a land of opportunities, and we can explore any opportunity, any field of activity which we like. And of course getting money aspect is very important, but at the same time what you feel, what you like, what your interests are, that's very important to get successful, to get satisfaction in your own life. And one thing I would rather stress, that it is there are three aspects. One is that whatever you do, there has to be very sincerity in your work. There has to be like a appreciation of your when you do something, and when somebody does anything, you have to appreciate that. At the same time, you have to be very considerate in your dealings with other people. And these are the things. Sincerity is very important in our life, in our day-to-day life. So that's what I would stress, that's important in our lives.